To the US now, where social media users are claiming they are behind the much smaller than expected numbers at Donald Trump's first campaign rally in months. Our North America correspondent James Glenday joins us now from Washington. James, good morning. I guess, though, you could argue the small turnout was a good thing, wasn't it, given the spread of coronavirus there?
That's one perspective, I suppose, Michael. Certainly there's less of a chance of spreading COVID-19, but it's not the restart that Donald Trump had wanted to his election campaign. His campaign had actually been promising or saying that there could be as many as 1 million people had expressed an interest. They expected so many people to turn up that the venue would be full. That held about 19,000, and that there could be as many as 40,000 outside in an overflow area. And the president was going to address that area as well, but that didn't happen because it wasn't really needed. And in fact, a local official says that there were only about 6,200 people at that rally. As you mentioned, some left-wing politicians and some social media users are saying they tricked the Trump campaign by getting people to register for the event en masse and then not turning up. The Republican Party says that's not the case. It says it was aware of this campaign and that it had hundreds of thousands of interested people, but it blames the media and protesters and said that the only reason people didn't turn up in the numbers expected is because they were worried about the possibility of clashes that didn't happen. It was pretty peaceful, really. And so not the start Donald Trump would have wanted, Michael, but it is another case, yet another, that in the most powerful country in the world, the media and a lot of energy is being put into debating crowd numbers at yet another Donald Trump event.
And it was quite, how should I describe this, an interesting speech, certainly a long one from Donald Trump.
Yeah, it wasn't as focused. I mean, actually, it's funny. Donald Trump himself actually said this speech is kind of so far only a bit average. He was criticised a little bit from actually some of his own party for it being a little bit off the cuff. Sometimes that works for the president. People argue that this time it didn't. He did cause a little bit of controversy when he made a comment about coronavirus testing. For some time, Mr. Trump has spoken about the number of cases of the coronavirus in the United States and said that the only reason there are so many and that the US leads the world is because they're testing so much. Now, health experts disagree with that. But he said that again, and he said that he'd actually told his officials to stop testing so much, slow things down a bit. And the White House has come out today and said that that was clearly a joke and people shouldn't take that literally. So a little bit of a storm in the teacup with that one. But yeah, Mr. Trump arrived back here last night. We haven't heard from him today. But, you know, sometimes these crowd number stories, Michael, I think get a little bit overanalyzed. It's certainly not the end for Mr. Trump, but it isn't the restart that he'd wanted after being locked basically within Washington for much of the past 3 or 4 months due to the pandemic. He really wanted this to be a big event that would inject energy into his election campaign, because we're only now a couple of months away from voting day.
Indeed. James Glenday in Washington, thank you.